Peace is the prize of all prizes, yet it surprises this world and is but a fallow fact, ignored and ephemeral to the ignorant. Those who cannot keep peace perfected within must invariably suffer and sulk in sallow places. For without peace no joy is sustained, and no object once attained proves satisfactory. And yet millions of souls upon your sphere kneel and beg for world peace, but are unable to control their emotions or detain deadly desires that are but raging fires within them. Thus, as the outer must forever reflect the inner, the fire and rage and the bombs of hate that lately lead to such mass destruction are but symbols of the lack of real inner wisdom and the shallow brevity of your love. This is an indication of how cleverly the materialistic mind has turned its machinery upon itself. Thus violence now litters the streets, and you are shocked at this horror, as little children are badly used and abused in carnal catastrophes. But then you will wipe the blood from your hands, but find that they are still stained with sorrow and uncivilized ambitions. For we are all one. All evil stems from the same source. The inner evil agendas, the silent aggressions, the poisonous politics. For a sick soul will veer with wonder towards gossip, and the garrulous will greet you with stories of slander, and your million of minute fears and hatreds eventually create a mountain of murders. No small word or thought is devoid of its reproductive power. The patterns we weave leaves the web tight and terrible, a viable veil that clouds your conclusions and your vision. Thus, so many live lives of treachery. They call love what is really just lust and lechery. So it seems that there is now no trust between brothers, no faith amongst lovers, no security amongst sisters. The blisters of beguilement have led to the disgusting defilement of both spirit and soul. Even so, your hypocrisy astounds us, and your prayers for peace confound us. For the world is not for one moment without some sort of wailing from your wounded, or the hurtful yells of those hounded by false accusation, or the injuries of those inflicted an injunction of injustice, or those grieving from being cheated by the ungrateful and the unforgiving. And what of the jests and the jokes of hateful minds, and those who are slapped by the hardest hands, and all the billion bruises of unkindness, and all the eloquence of the arrogantly blind? Yet it is peace that, like parrots, is repeated in your political arenas. It is peace that is guarded by your police with their pistols and their truncheons. It is peace that is promoted at expensive luncheons. It is peace that you symbolize in greeting and slogan, yet so few give into its discipline to even practice one moment of peace daily, failing to see that each peaceless moment and then hour deflowers its divine power to descend upon you. Thus you must wrestle with restlessness and writhe in the bristles of trials and tribulations, or jump and shout in moments of jubilation, merely to feel the emptiness that follows and all the hollow victories of vanity. Sanity is too severe a subject to study and master. Therefore, the cataloguing of global disasters is your preoccupation and preference, keenly reported hourly from one corner of the globe to another, so that you eat dinner while calmly watching brother slaying brother and nations destroying each other, and yet your food chokes you not in the witnessing of such horror, as long as it is in a different place, and you are unable to recognize the face that you see weeping or bleeding or heaving for its last breath. The carnage of colossal deaths appear not fact, but fiction. Your speech is mere delivery and diction removed from all real remorse or responsibility. So you turn your paper to an article lighter and your mind to the cheerful and a subject brighter, for none can solve the stupidities of civil unrest or the absurdities of warfare. Is it too simple to denounce it completely, to renounce all evil consistently? The complexity of your morals and economics is too tangled to unravel and too tight in legislation, so that you are strangled of all solutions. The basic belief that so much is intolerable, unforgivable, and uncivilized finds no orator so skilled that is unmatched in an opponent, or silenced by some component of law, or murdered in their mission. Thus peace becomes a myth and a quandary. Even your spiritual leaders squander so much in the belittling of other beliefs and offer no real relief, either inwardly or outwardly. So many give their life and soul to such systems, nevertheless themselves remain empty of upliftment or real fulfillment, merely subjected to stories that are senseless and fraught with endless ambiguities and confusion. Thus the peaceless process is progressive, from your soul to your clans to your institutions. The noise of your nations brush to angelic ears, and the trash of tears hurts our hearts. The erosion of all your falling fears eat into the very core of this earth, for peace is a prize. It cannot exist in an atmosphere of atrocity or an environment of lies and disappointment and broken commitments and empty ambitions. So your petitions are pointless and your prayers powerless, until each of you take and make inner peace a priority, and until the majority of mankind has mastered this mindset and is no longer upset and usurped by uglier emotions, until all practice it daily and learn to perfect its procedure with persistence, until peace is the world's predominant inward obsession and outward fashion. You will forever dance with demons and to their music. You will forever accuse each other profusely, and your spirits and souls will constantly be at war at all levels. For peace is a prize so few have known, so few have ventured into its meadows through meditation and the pastures through purity. Its beauty is pure power, and its potency profoundly healing. Therefore, kneeling in prayer, if the heart is noisy with nuisances and the nuances of nonsense, will not achieve it. The souls that cannot be still will not receive it through contemplation. For peace, both delicate yet strong, cannot be poured into the hearts of wrong volition, or those whose attentions are on amusement, or those who are bleeding in the pain of bereavement. When all inner anguish is amended and inner peace cemented, divinity descends like rain to nourish this earth again. Doves will land upon your heads, and you will sleep in beds of beautiful dreams. All scorching screams will be silenced. Then the peace prize is yours forever. The peace prize is not discussion and consultation, another idea to argue on. Peace is experience and knowledge not learned in your colleges or schools, its rules unknown by your leaders that promote it, not practiced by the writer that wrote this. Peace has so many inner opponents and is attacked by so many passing passions that it is still a difficult place to find for many of its disciples. But all this can be alleviated and the world's pain abbreviated. Seek the prize of peace, seek the surprises of serenity. End the quest and all the questions, for the bastions of beauty endure forever, and then peace will be with you.